constantly, you, the man, giving, and getting really nothing back from her. And you have to keep doing that just to stay afloat, like you're treading water. Yeah, guys, we've been doing this for 30 years now, right? And there's a reason why you guys are interested in this, right? There's a reason why you're going over, and that's wonderful. I think one of the main reasons is that this just gives you more opportunity than what you would have in your hometown, in your home city, or here even in the US. It just gives you so much more opportunity and so much more assistance to try and meet that right woman, right? And maybe because you realize that there might be a really good fit with the culture where she is and the culture where you are, right? Because she's having problems too, trying to meet that right guy, and you're having issues here, trying to meet the right woman for the things that you want. And so you decide, okay, I'm going to try something like this and go over. But guys, here's a few tips to try to stay realistic. And tell me if I'm off base too much. Tip number one, until you meet the woman, right? Until you actually meet her, you really don't have, quote unquote, real relationship. Okay, you might have kind of a virtual relationship. You might have something like that, but are you engaged before you meet her? No, you're not. You should not really be purchasing an engagement ring and doing those kind of things until you actually meet. You know, when guys call me up now and they say, John, I'm so happy I'm engaged, my first question to them now is, have you met her yet? Because if they tell me no...
It sounds like a logical question and you should not be asking.
You shouldn't have to ask that. And I used to not ask that until more and more guys are saying that without first meeting. And I understand, you know, you get caught up in letters and all that, and oh, I love you, we love each other, we love everyone. Okay, that's great. But until you meet, until you really meet, you really don't know what's really going on, because you just haven't had the opportunity for all the senses to be there, right? And you just don't know what's really going on until the two of you are alone talking. And I don't care if she speaks your language or doesn't speak your language. Use Google Translate, do something. You can use an interpreter at first, but you need to be alone at some point. And you need to be able to talk and really see what's going on with that body language. And keep your wits about you, right? Do not ignore red flags. Do not make excuses for things like, well, you know, she's not holding my hand.
It's just a cultural difference.
It's just a cultural thing. You know, and I know guys that will just continue to pound their head against the wall and continue to blame it on every other external factor they can think of other than the fact that she's just not that into you, okay? And sometimes it's hard to take. You know, I remember this tour that I was on, and, you know, I remember the guy. I remember his face like it was yesterday. This was probably 15 years ago. And the poor guy met this wonderful woman at the social, and she was just being nice, and she was going out with him, you know, every day almost, during the day, which was fun. They had fun. They were dating. It was great, okay? It was dating. There's nothing wrong with dating. But she wasn't that serious about him. He was already planning the marriage, planning the kids, the dog, the cat, you know, all that. The white picket fence, had it all in his mind, right? And then I learned that, you know, she would go out with him during the day, but at night, she was actually going out with someone she really liked from the tour. And she was dating him too. Okay, hey, no harm, no foul. You know, guys date multiple women. Women can date multiple men. I mean, that happens. But I needed to tell him that this woman, although she was nice and although she probably just wanted to be friends, there wasn't a future there. And he needed to understand that. And so I remember that conversation with him. He had a beer in his hand. And as I told him this, that beer went from his hand to his mouth and the whole thing got guzzled down. He's like, okay, I need to move on. And you know what? To his credit, he did. He did. And he moved on. And he got engaged to someone. He got married. He's still married, right? But he understood that this was not for him. This was not going to work. And instead of going into deep depression and hiding in his room for the whole tour and all that, he just moved on. Sometimes you have to just move on, and it's hard because we don't want to. We want to make that work because in our mind, we spent all this time, maybe you wrote a bunch of letters, maybe you did all this, and you built this up in your mind so much to where you want it to work. And damn it, you're going to make it work.
Are you ready to get started? Sign up and connect with these real women. Check out our website at acapulcowomen.com.